Good afternoon and welcome to the finalist concert of the 2020 SAS Performing Arts Vocal Competition, Opera Division. When we announced this competition, we received over 100 applications from all parts of the world. We selected over 30 semifinalists, and now we have 12 finalists. These performers come from as far away as Sweden, South Korea, and Australia, to as near as Phoenix, Houston, Chicago, and the tri-state area. In every case, it was very encouraging to listen to all these wonderfully talented young singers who are studying and working toward the goal of becoming complete performers. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, many of their scheduled performances have been canceled, and we hope to see them back on stage in the very near future. Our judges today are well known in the opera and classical musical world. Dr. Isola Jones is an internationally renowned singer. She is best known for her work with the Metropolitan Opera in New York City, where she sang for 16 years and is particularly acclaimed for her role as Bizet's Carmen. She received her doctorate in music from Arizona State University and teaches, adjudicates, and is invited to teach masterclasses all across the country. Kamazangarin Tashina Vaughan is an outstanding mezzo-soprano celebrated for her luxuriously rich voice as well as her electrifying stagecraft. She began her career as a member of the Metropolitan Opera Lindemann's Young Artist Development Program and made her European debut as Mistress Quickly in Falstaff in Stuttgart, where she was awarded the title of Kamazangarin. Recent performances include Filipa Nieva in Eugene Onegin at the Spoleto Festival, and her debut at the Teatro alla Scala in Milan as Maria in Porgy and Bess. She has appeared in videos in roles as Fricka in Die Walküre and Waltraute in Götterdämmerung. Some of her favorite roles include Clytemnestra in Electra and the Witch in Humperdinck's Hansel and Gretel. She appeared as Lily in the Metropolitan Opera's Grammy-nominated production of Porgy and Bess. Deborah Surdy is the executive director of the Queen's Symphony Orchestra and former vice president of Sony Masterworks. She's the former executive director of the Opera Orchestra of New York and is currently executive director of the Martina Arroyo Foundation. Ms. Surdy began her career in classical music as a soprano, singing such roles as Donna Anna, Fiordiligi, Tosca, and Mimi. I share a special bond with each one of these women, as I have had the pleasure of making music with each of them during my career. And I also had the honor of joining them in a lively discussion during their deliberations to choose the winners of this concert. It was an incredible meeting to coordinate, as we had to span 3 different time zones and 2 different countries. We agreed that what we were looking for, besides technical ability, was the ability to connect with the listener and portray the character they were singing. We have asked each singer to prepare a short introduction to their selections. So today you will have the added insight of learning about each of the finalists and then seeing them perform one aria which they have submitted. Of course, in these times we are living, each submitted a video from the safety of their homes or studios. After the concert, I will return to announce the winners of the awards. You can also take part in the judging process for the Audience Favorite Award. Remember your favorite and go to our website at www.sasperformingarts.com and cast your vote for your favorite singer. The winner will be announced a week from today over our social media and website. Now I am proud to present the finalists of the SAS Performing Arts Company 2020 Opera Division Vocal Competition.
Hello, my name is Catherine Chacon. I am a soprano, originally from Kansas, but am very happy to have called Arizona my home for the past 10 years. I moved out to the Phoenix area for grad school and then to get my doctorate. And I have been working and teaching in the Valley ever since. I am recently married. My husband and I got married back in February, luckily before the pandemic broke out. We love hiking and being out in nature, and above all, we love traveling. So hopefully that will be something we can do in the very near future. I will be singing Tacea la notte from Il Trovatore. The character Leonora has fallen in love with a mysterious knight. In this aria, she recounts to her confidant Inez how they met. He was the victor of a tournament, and she lost track of him because a civil war broke out. However, on one beautiful, quiet night, she hears his voice. He is disguised as a troubadour and singing beneath her window. Now Inez is concerned. She has a strange, uneasy feeling about this man. But Leonora is young and somewhat rebellious. She says, "Such a love words can hardly describe. If I cannot live for him I will die."
La luna visorgente proprio destino compiesi, ma poche lui t'ha preso. S'io non vivrò preso morirò, s'io non vivo preso morirò, sì, preso morirò.
Hello, my name is Blake Denson, and I am a baritone from Paducah, Kentucky. I currently live in Houston with my wife and my daughter, where I'm a part of the Houston Grand Opera Studio. Today, I just wanted to give you the significance of the aria I will be presenting to you all. The aria I'm going to sing is Carlos Écoute from Don Carlos. The original of what it was wrote in was French, but now it's majorly done in Italian. This opera and this specific aria means so much to me. I'm a Christian man. I believe that the Lord has called me to opera to represent Him and place Him in every sphere of influence that I have. So this scene particularly reminds me a lot of David and Jonathan in the Bible, where Jonathan lost his life to make sure that his friend David was protected and that his calling and his vision could be played out and he could step into what God had called him to, even if Jonathan was not on this earth anymore. So this reminds me a lot of that. In this scene, King Philip has placed a hit out on Don Carlos. Don Carlos is in jail. My character, Rodrigo, is coming to give the urgent message to Don Carlos that his lover is waiting for him at Flandre, and she knows all the plans of everything set up to where they could be together. During this scene, the hit is carried out, but they miss Don Carlos and they shoot me, Rodrigo. So in this scene, I am dying. I am losing my life, but I tell Don Carlos it's perfectly okay. I would rather lose my life to where you could walk in your purpose and have the life that you want to live. So this means a lot to me. I hope this song blesses you all. I hope this touches your heart. And thank you so much for this opportunity. It really means a lot to me and my family. Thank you.
Carlos écoute, attends, passagiste, Carlos, Carlos, joyeuse, car Carlos, souviens-toi, oui, il t'avait donné, et moi mourir pour toi. Carlos, Carlos, sauve la flandre. Adieu, Carlos.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Drever, and I am a soprano based in Los Angeles, California. Today I'll be singing for you Regnava nel Silenzio from Donizetti's magnum opus, Lucia di Lammermoor. Now, Lucia di Lammermoor is, of course, famous for having perhaps what is the quintessential mad scene, which occurs in Act 3. Of course, there is a catalyst for her madness, but, if you pay attention, you'll notice that the seeds of her madness are in fact planted all the way back in Act 1, where we first meet her, which is where she sings Regnava nel Silenzio. So in this aria, she is with her maid, Elisa, by a fountain, which is the source of a local legend. Now, legend has it that generations ago, a young girl was murdered in the dark of night by her lover in a jealous rage. And this lover was a member of the Ravenswood family. And in the first half of the aria, Lucia tells Elisa how, rather calmly for someone describing something so creepy, her calmness actually is kind of really odd, but in her calm way, almost as if you're reading a grocery list, she describes how she sees the ghost of this girl by the fountain. And, through Donizetti's brilliant writing and the way he paints a picture with the music, Lucia describes the moon up in the dark black sky, how, she sees the ghost take form, how she sees her lips as if they're moving, and how she sees the blood in the water. But this is a problem because Elisa is considering a few things Lucia is not. Number one, this fountain is the site of where Lucia is about to meet with her secret lover, Edgardo, who is, number two, wait for it, a Ravenswood. And number three, Lucia is an Ashton. And number four, the Ashtons and the Ravenswoods are enemies. We're talking like Capulet, Montague level enemies. So Lucia sees how this is not a good situation to be in. This is bad. In modern parlance, she basically tells her, she interjects in midway through the cavatina and the cavaletta, she basically says, girl, stop, go back, don't collect $200, swipe left, run, no, don't. And, this segues into the second half of the aria, in which Lucia, of course, ignores every component of her warning because Lucia is young. She is in love. It doesn't matter if you see bloody ghosts in a fountain. No! It doesn't matter if this ghost was killed by the same member, by a guy that shares a family with your current lover. Not at all. And the second half of the aria in the cabaletta, she beautifully waxes poetic about how much she loves him, how he's the light to her days, how he is heaven on earth for her in this newfound, visceral ecstasy she's feeling. And the song, is, of course, I cannot believe, did I just say song? I did. Oh, I'm such a bad musician. This aria, hello, this aria is a favorite of mine. Lucia is deeply close to my heart because it's a gift to anyone who gets to sing it. Donizetti is also one of my favorite composers. He's, I think singers, we all have our personal favorites that we instinctively feel these composers wrote this music just for us because it fits our voices so well. And it fits mine, I find, beautifully. His music is like a salve on my vocal cords. If I'm not feeling so good, if the pipes aren't lining up on practice days, sometimes I just sing a few measures of Regnava or even the Mad Scene, and boom, my voice is locked right back in there. I've had the pleasure of singing scenes from Lucia for a live audience, but I have not yet had the pleasure of performing the role in full, and that is at the top of my dream role list, let me tell you. I hope that will change in the near future, but until that day, I hope you enjoy Regnava nel Silenzio from Lucia d'Amore, sung by me. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Silenzio
Hello, my name is Helen Jang. I'm a soprano. I'm currently studying in master's program at Manhattan School of Music. I'm originally from South Korea, residing currently in Palisades Park, New Jersey. The music I'll be presenting today is the Willow song from The Ballad of Baby Doe by Douglas Moore. The music shows such innocence of the character Baby Doe, yearning for her lost love in the past. I think the music allows me to express myself related to my current situation, which I also have been missing my old days before this pandemic happened. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Melissa Joseph. I'm a soprano from Atlanta, Georgia, living in Boston, Massachusetts. I attended Georgia State University, where I received both my bachelor and master's in voice performance. After receiving my master's, I decided to move on to Boston to work full-time for a nonprofit where I help high school seniors find financial aid for college. Since moving to Boston, I've had the amazing opportunity of studying with Sharon Daniels. And studying with her has opened up so many doors and created so many opportunities, one of them being a semi-finalist in this competition. So today I'm happy to bring to you my rendition of Depuis le jour from Louise by Charpentier. I love and chose this aria for many reasons, one of them being the text and the emotion that Louise has in this aria. For context, Louise is talking about her first experience of love with her one true love. She's gone through a lot of trials and a lot of family arguments just to be in this space and pursuing the one thing that matters most to her, and that is being with her lover. She talks about the garden in her heart that sings of joy and how happy she is, and just essentially being on cloud nine and how much joy her love brings her. So I hope that you enjoy my rendition of Depuis le jour from Louise by Charpentier. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Jonathan Kaufman. I'm a tenor and I'm here in my home studio in Charlotte, North Carolina. The piece I'll be singing for you today is Morgenlicht leuchtend im Rosenschein, or Shining with the Rosy Glow of Morning. This piece comes from Wagner's one and only comedic opera, Die Meistersinger von Nuremberg. And along with it being his only comedic, it also happens to be the longest opera he ever wrote. Now, depending on the production, this can go anywhere from 4.5 to 5 hours long. I kid you not, and it's worth every minute. It's one of the most fantastic pieces of music ever written. Now, this piece, also known as Walter's Prize Song, takes place in Act 3, and it's during a contest to win the hand of Eva, who happens to be the daughter of a goldsmith. Now, how did we get here? Well, to make a very long 5-hour Wagnerian story short, in Act 1, Walter von Stotzig arrives in town and he's attending Mass at St. Catherine's, and he sees and meets Eva. Now, as one does in the 16th century, he falls madly in love at first sight and asks for her hand in marriage. And while she would gladly accept, she can't, because she is betrothed to the winner of the Meistersinger contest. Now, knowing this, Walter devises a plan to enter the contest, and such he seeks out the help of the town's most well-respected Meistersinger, Hans Sachs. And what would any opera be without a baritone villain? Enter Beckmesser. Now, Beckmesser, of course, is also in love with Eva, and he's also entered the contest to win her hand in marriage. So we fast forward to Act 2, where Beckmesser is outside of Eva's window trying to serenade her with a song, and he overhears Hans Sachs and Walter working on Walter's song, and he realizes it's good. And so he steals the song. He breaks in and steals it. And so now we fast forward again to Act 3, and we're at the contest. And Beckmesser steps up to present his song before Walter, and he tries using Walter's words to his own melody, and it's an absolute comedic disaster. It's incredible. He gets booed off stage, kicked out of town, and it's hilarious. So up steps Walter to sing it how it's meant to be done, how it's meant to be sung and written, and spoiler alert, he wins the contest, but more importantly, he wins the hand of the woman he loves, Eva. So without further delay, I present Morgenlicht leuchtend im Rosenschein, or Walter's Prize Song.
Morgenlicht leuchtend im rosigen Schein, von Venus rot gestellt
Hi everyone, my name's Elizabeth Lewis. I am a soprano, originally from Australia, but now coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you to the SAS Performing Arts Company Vocal Competition for including me in the finals this year. It is a great honour and I really, really appreciate the time and effort that you guys go to putting on the competition. So thank you very much to everyone involved there and for you at home for watching and cheering us on wherever you are in the world. We really appreciate it. Good luck to all the other contestants. It's going to be a great comp and I'm really excited to be singing with you, however far away you may be in the world. My contribution this evening will be Doreste Dayace from Idomeneo by Mozart. This aria is really special to me because it was one of the first arias that I really felt I owned as a soprano. I originally trained as a mezzo-soprano through all of my training as university, and about 2/3 of the way through my second Young Artist program in Australia, changed fach and went from lyric mezzo to a young dramatic soprano. So it took a little while and it was really difficult to find that new space. But once I did, it felt like home and it was really wonderful to try new repertoire and to discover new characters that had never been accessible to me before. Elettra in Idomeneo was one of those characters that I had always loved the music for, but never thought I would get to sing. So being able to sing this aria and sort of be her, however briefly, is really exciting and really special because it was something I never thought that I would be able to do. And here I am doing it. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, thank you very much for having me in your home this evening. I hope you enjoy the show and have a good night. Bye.
Hello, my name is Keanu Richardson. I am from Miami, Florida, and I am a soprano. So, just a little bit about myself, but before I get into that, I first want to thank SAS Performing Arts Company for allowing me to be a part of this competition. I'm so thrilled. Thank you so much. So, now let's get into this. A little bit about myself. I actually started singing at the age of 2. My mother used to put a cassette player at the head of my bed, and I would listen to things from like classical music to classic Disney. Now, I'm not talking about the Disney that is now. I'm talking about the old Disney, Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, to the Disney Renaissance, which we all know, Pocahontas, Aladdin, Lion King, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, which is my all-time favorite Disney movie, by the way. As I think some of you guys might know that I'm a big Disney fan, so I love all things Disney. And opera kind of was in the mix of all of that because I would watch the Nutcracker and actually listen to Handel's Messiah during this time of year. And but it never really dawned on me to be an opera singer. That came much later. And it was due to a certain little musical, you know, Phantom of the Opera. Who'd have thought? And I know all of you diehard opera fans will say that's not an opera. I know. But when I did my research, I read the book and I saw the play and I listened to the soundtrack and I just was trying to figure out what is this thing called opera. After reading the book, I actually discovered Meyerbeer, Puccini, Gounod. I went online at the time when we had dial-up. You guys remember that? And I would listen to singers from Luciano Pavarotti to Renee Fleming to Jesse Norman, Marian Anderson, and led me to Kathleen Battle and Maria Freni, and the list just goes on and on and on and on. And that's the moment I said, I want to be an opera singer. My journey to being an opera singer, I mean, I worked extremely hard to just figure out how to do this incredible art form that is, you know, it's a really special art form to be able to be able to use your voice in the most incredible way possible. And the fact that we are able to use the sets and the costumes and to tell this bigger than life story. Well, it's bigger than life, but it's still like that's a tiny story, but we just put it on a bigger stage. I was enthralled by that. I wanted to be a part of that. And segueing into this piece that I'm about to perform for you guys, I actually heard it in college, and I believe it was Rary Grist who was the first person I heard singing it, and I was floored. Then later on, I heard Edita Gruberova sing it, and I was just like, hands down, I've got to sing this song. And at the time, well, let's just say that I was not quite ready for it. But as time went on, I grew as a person, I grew as a singer, I grew as a performer, and I grew as a person. And it became at a time where I can finally say, now I can sing it, now I can present it, now I can give it my all. And I hope that each and every one of you guys enjoy it. So here is Zerbanetta's aria from Ariadne auf Naxos by Richard Strauss.
Auswählen Sie die Statue.
Hello, my name is Camille Sherman, and I'm a mezzo-soprano based out of Portland, Oregon. The piece I am presenting today is the composer's aria from Ariadne auf Naxos by Strauss. This piece has long been a favorite of mine, but the reason I keep coming back to it this year is that it is an ecstatic revelation about the incredible magical and healing power of music, how it is truly the holiest and greatest of all art forms. And the piece is such a joy to sing, and the message is something that keeps anchoring me during this challenging year. So I really hope that you all enjoy.
Seien wir wieder gut. Ich sehe jetzt alles mit anderen Augen. Die Tiefen des Daseins sind unermesslich. Mein lieber Freund, es gibt manches auf der Welt, das lässt sich nicht sagen. Die Dichtungen legen ja recht gute Worte, recht gute. Jedoch, 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 Mut ist in mir, Mut, Freund. Die Wahrheit ist nämlich und nicht fürchterlich dem Mutigen. Was ist denn Musik? Musik ist eine heilige Kunst, zu versammeln alle Arten von Gott. Wie Cherubim einen strahlenden Thron, und darum ist sie die Heilige unter den Konsten. Die Musik.
Hi, my name is Kristen Starkey. I'm a contralto, and currently I live in Falun, Sweden, but originally I was born and raised in Long Island, New York. The aria I'm going to sing for you today is Weisse Wotan Weisse from the opera Das Rheingold by Wagner. In this aria, my character Erda comes from the ground and warns our protagonist Wotan that the ring he currently possesses is going to bring him great suffering if he does not give it up. Well, he originally doesn't want to give up this ring, but by the time my aria is finished, he decides that maybe it's a better idea. He tosses the ring then to the giants, who then end up fighting over possession of this ring, and then one of the brothers kills the other over this ring. So I hope you enjoy Weisse Wotan Weisse.
Rettungslos und dunkel im
Hi, my name is Youngkwang Yu. I'm a baritone. I'm from New Jersey, originally from Korea. As an opera singer, I have thought and tried so hard to bring my life to all songs I sing. Today, I want to share a part of my life which has a desire of being loved by my love. So I will sing Silvio's aria from Leoncavallo's Pagliacci. I want you to enjoy my music. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Young, and I'm a tenor from Houston, Texas. I will be performing Dein ist mein ganzes Herz from Franz Lehár's Das Land des Lächelns. In this aria, I, the prince, am trying to comfort my love, the daughter of a count from a faraway land. She's homesick, but for me, my home is wherever she goes. Thank you.
Dein ist mein ganzes Herz, wo du nicht bist, kann ich nicht sein. So wie die Blume welkt, wenn sie nicht küsst, der Sonnenschein. Dein ist mein schönstes Lied, weil es allein aus der Liebe erblüht. Sag mir noch einmal, mein einzig Lieb, oh, sag noch einmal mir, ich hab dich lieb. Wohin ich immer gehe, ich fühle deine Nähe. Ich möchte deinen Atem trinken und betend dir zu Füßen sinken. Dir allein, wie wunderbar ist dein leuchtendes Haar. Traumschön und Sehnsuchtswahn ist dein strahlender Blick. Heil ist der Stimme Klang, ist er so wie Musik. Dein ist mein ganzes Herz, wo du nicht bist, kann ich nicht sein. So wie die Blume welkt, wenn sie nicht küsst, der Sonnenschein. Dein ist mein schönstes Lied, weil es allein aus der Liebe erblüht. Sag mir noch einmal, mein einzig Lieb, oh, sag noch einmal mir, ich hab dich
It is with great pleasure that I announce the winners of the SAS Performing Arts Incentive Awards for 2020. They are soprano Chantal Brazil, soprano Michelle Capano, soprano Catherine Holubinko, baritone Doran McCall, and soprano Lindsay Reynolds. We will be posting a presentation from each of these talented singers on our YouTube channel. Now, the winners of the 2020 SAS Performing Arts Competition. The third place winner is soprano Melissa Joseph. The second place winner is tenor Jonathan Kaufman. And the first place winner is baritone Young Kwang Yo. We want to congratulate all of our winners for their very well-deserved achievement. Each and every performer you have heard today has the potential for a great career, and we wish them all the best in their future endeavors. In spring of 2021, the SAS Performing Arts Company will be hosting the vocal competition for American musical theater performers. And in the fall of 2021, the vocal competition opera division. Thank you so much, and we wish you a happy holiday season and a happy, healthy, and safe new year.